Hello everyone, this is Zidam Astrology once again, welcoming you to my Nakshatra Deities series, the continuing series on my short summary or analysis of the nakshatras in the zodiac signs that we look at in Vedic astrology and how we deal with it. This is a system of astrology known in Sanskrit as Jyotish. The 27 constellations and not the 12 star signs of the zodiac are key to understanding celestial influences on our planet and person. These 27 constellations are known as the 27 nakshatras or stars spanning 13 degrees 20 minutes each. They are further divided into 4 parts of 3 degrees 20 minutes. Jump in and join me on this journey for a brighter day with Vedic astrology to guide you over the sea of life. Okay, this is just a further delving or explanation into the summary of the sky as we as Vedic astrologer see it. And the summary of the sky here divides it into the signs, the rasis, the nakshatras, the stars, and the padas. And this visual here was taken from the Jyotish video website. The moon and the star is just there. The moon and the sun, sorry, is just there for us to see, in correlation to what it can be or could be. It doesn't mean anything in this slide. It's just arbitrary. And the Rasi or zodiac sign is one of the 12 signs that gives you your birth details. It's your Kundali. In Western astrology, the sun sign is used, but in Vedic astrology, we more look at the moon sign for your Janma Rashi or your Lagna. But we also use the Lagna and the ascendant based on the time of your birth. So which is why the time of your birth is so important, because the Vedic astrology looks at your Lagna based on when you were born, whether it's in day or the night, before noon, afternoon, before midnight, after midnight. There are times where the Lagna will move, and that Lagna will move every 2 hours, not every month like in the Western astrology, but every 2 hours in Vedic astrology. This is why the Lagna can move for one person within a day or another. So that is why people born on the same day may have a different Lagna or ascendant. And this is the Rasi, and if you count, you'll see 12 from Aries to Pisces, or from Mesha to Meena. And then we have the nakshatras, and the nakshatras represent the abodes into which the fruits of our labor or karma is transferred and stored. And the green arrow shows you that the grayed out areas, there is the nakshatra. So that between every red line, it's a nakshatra. And if you count, you'll get 27. So that sometimes in Vedic astrology, though, astrologers use Abhijit, which is a 28th nakshatra, and that falls in Capricorn, but most astrologers really use the 27 according to the sages in the books, right? In all the texts that we research to bring you these things. And the nakshatras disperse the fruits of karma, the highest of which is the fruit of our worship and meditation. This is our spiritual labor of life. And then we get the padas, and the padas are the 4 small red arrows, as indicated there by the large red arrow, that they are divided, so that each pada, each nakshatra here has 4 pada. 1, 2, 3, 4. But as you can see, Simha nakshatra has 4 padas in Magha and Purva Palguni, and then in Uttara Palguni it has 1. So that's 4, 4, and 1 here, which makes it 9. So this is where we get the 9 padas in one nakshatra. And this is how we view Vedic astrology. And at the end of the day, based on a person's moon nakshatra at the time of birth, Jyotish as it is offers a more powerful predictive technique compared to other forms of astrology, because here you can see the details that we go into, and each of these rasis or nakshatras or padas, you know, they have a deity, they have an energy to them, and those energies, when they clash or when they are symbolic of a flow, that they can flow together or work together, you know, it brings you power or it brings you distress. So this is why Vedic astrology is so powerful in its predictive technique. And this is just a summary where you have 12 zodiac signs, equates to 360 degrees. One zodiac sign or rasi equates to 30 degrees. A nakshatra is 13 degrees on 20 minutes, and one pada is 3 degrees 20 minutes. Okay, this is the symbol for the Punarvasu Nakshatra, and that symbol is the bow and a quiver of arrows. And arrows are a popular symbol in mythology. You know, the zodiac sign of Sagittarius depicts a centaur shooting an arrow. The god of love, Cupid, uses a bow and arrow to snare his victims, as it were. The Greek goddesses Diana and Artemis both carried bows and arrows. It's clear from these and other imageries, if we do our research and we look at it, that arrows represent the ability to reach out, to communicate, and travel at great speed. Let us examine now further how arrows have been used in different cultures. And when a speaker refers to an arrow in the quiver, they are talking about something that is an additional resource, aiding in the achievement of some goal or objective. You have things in your pocket, you have things at your beck and call, as we say. This can arguably be called a battle metaphor, related to classic warfare and the use of bows and arrows as weapons in the olden days. A bow and arrow in tandem represents a complete arsenal, a combination of strength and power. The arrow, when cocked and pointing forward, symbolizes the archer looking forward, intending to move forward and achieve his goals without looking back. A group of arrows symbolizes unity of purpose and strength, represented as a bundle. The arrows will show invincibility and toughness, the ability to stand together and fight. And this is what Punarvasu is. It's all about, a renewal, a rebirth. So that in Vedic astrology, this symbol denotes the idea of the abode, the home. It's all about putting things in a basket so that you have a home and you gain your material wealth or your spiritual prayer room from this. It denotes the idea of your residence, back to home, a sojourn, a peaceful place, and where you can enter into life again, renewal of riches. It is all about, sending it out, but it returns to you from a good start. So this is the symbol of Punarvasu Nakshatra. Okay, and here we are going to look at the deity of the Punarvasu Nakshatra. And that deity is Mother Aditi. And Mother Aditi was one of the wives of sage Kashyap. And in the most ancient of Vedas, the Rig Veda, they refer to Aditi as many as 80 times and terms her as mighty. While the Vedic text hails her as the first deity itself, she is also praised as representing divine essence and wisdom. There are detailed references about Aditi in the Puranas too. She is regarded as the wife of the great sage Kashyap and the mother of the powerful Adityas, the 12 Adityas, who are the Adityas of the solar system. And they are Indra, the lord of the Devas, and Surya Dev, the sun. Lord Vamana, the fifth avatar of Lord Vishnu, is also considered as her son. While she is also regarded as the daughter of Daksha, somewhere else she is called his mother too. So that this is the mythology of the Sanskrit text that comes through us and the interpretation. So that you always have to read and read and read to understand what it is you really want to give to your audience or your client, or what it is based on. And as per mythological accounts, Aditi and Diti were sisters, both of whom married sage Kashyap. While the pious Aditi gave birth to virtuous sons who became the devas, the jealous deity begot sons who only became cruel asuras. When the asuras became mighty and dislodged Aditi's sons, the devas, from their position on land, the worried mother Aditi approached her husband, sage Kashyap, and on his advice observed fervent austerities or prayers, propitiating Lord Vishnu. The Lord, that's Vishnu, pleased with Aditi's devotion, agreed to her plea of saving her sons from oblivion and took birth as her own son. Vamana, therefore, the fifth avatar of Lord Vishnu, quelled the might of the Asuras and restored the heavens to the Devas. So this is the story of Mother Aditi, and she is the deity associated with Punarvasu Nakshatra. Okay, and this is a view of the fixed stars as we have it in Punarvasu Nakshatra, which spans 20 degrees Gemini to 320 degrees Cancer. And in Gemini, you have Bellatrix, which is the Orion's left shoulder. Unfortunate planets who could be posited here would be Mars and Mercury. Then we have Capella, again Mars and Mercury features, but in a fortunate position. So at 2128 you have unfortunate Mars and Mercury, but at 2151 you have fortunate Mars and Mercury. So you see how different persons can be, or their life can be based on a few minutes, not even a degree, a few minutes based on your lagna. And if your lagna is there, or your ascendant, this can explain again the differences in two persons being born at the same day, at the same time, but with different minutes. And then you have Polaris, the pole star, at 2834 Gemini. And the unfortunate grahas here are Saturn and Venus. And to round off Gemini, we have Betelgeuse, which is Orion's right shoulder. And unfortunate again is Mars and Mercury. So for Orion's left and right shoulder, the two grahas that are unfortunate is Mars and Mercury for the ascendant in Punarvasu Nakshatra. And in Cancer, it ends at 320, but we take a 3 degrees at times for the energies to impact or give some kind of solution or answer. And at 326 degrees Cancer, we have Propas, which you can be overconfident, you can have pride, you can be shameless, you can be dealing with violence or giving violence. And the unfortunate planet here is Saturn. So these are the fixed stars of Punarvasu Nakshatra that can further explain the difference in us, and or give us a heads up in how we have to deal with persons whom we know where their lagna is. And here we have the details of the padas in Punarvasu Nakshatra. And the padas are dealing with the Purushartha goals, which are Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. And in the Punarvasu Nakshatra, and the first pada, it falls in the Aries Navamsha ruled by Mars. And the focus here is on adventure and various other activities. The objective is to achieve goals through team spirit. So that, while you can be creative and gung-ho with the Aries Navamsh, you also have to deal with the teams, because that is what Punarvasu is telling you. You have that bow and that quiver to understand that it is home, it is a relationship, it is about family, it is about teams. And then the Punarvasu Nakshatra, the second pada, falls in the Taurus Navamsh ruled by Venus. And here the focus is on the materialistic comfort, so that you would have the Arthur Nakshatra here giving you, you wanting all the materialistic things in life. Venus will want to push you to have those creative beauty, art, literature, theater, dance, music, the drums beating. That is what you would be looking at if your lagna fell in the second pada. And in the third pada, you have Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, and the focus here is in your intellect, your imagination, the science, and your mental activities. And the fourth pada, ruled by Cancer, is all about your nurturing spirit and helping the needy. So this again is some of the details that we view and we juxtapose or compare and complement the reading for you when we do your Kundali or birth chart. So we come to the zodiac characteristics of Cancer, and I chose Cancer just to not make it too complex, because it's Cancer and Gemini that Punarvasu straddles, but we'll just deal with one for now. And the moon rules Cancer. It's a movable sign, which is cardinal, and Lord Brahma, the Lord of creation, is the deity for Cancer. And Cancer is all about emotions, mother, joy, enthusiasm. And then you have the tarot card, the Chariot, where you're going on a journey, or you're taking a journey, you are making a victory lap after your journey, or whatever victory you can have success in, self-control, willpower. And if this card is in a reading for you, then it shows that you can be moving your residence, you can be moving home, your home. So that these are some of the things we look at. Punarvasu, Pushya, and Ashlesha are the three nakshatras that fall in Cancer, and it's a Vishnu sthana. And when we say a Vishnu sthana, we mean the fourth house, not the sign, because Cancer may not be your fourth house depending on where your lagna falls. Because remember, your lagna moves every 2 hours, so depending on your time of birth, your fourth house can be any sign. And Cancer is in the invisible half of the zodiac, in the Dharma chine, and we have the chakra here, the Ajna chakra. So that some of these things are what we look at. It's a water sign, so it's all about emotions, as we say. So that at the end of the day, Vedic astrology delves into the nitty-gritty, it delves into the details, it gives you that powerful predictive technology that we can use to give you the potential falls and pitfalls, or successes, or alliances that complement your goals and objectives in this lifetime. And this is Jupiter and how he behaves in Gemini and Cancer. So that, at the end of the day, this is the significations of Jupiter in Gemini and Cancer. And we have to deal with Jupiter because Jupiter is the graha that is associated with Punarvasu Nakshatra. And with Jupiter in Gemini, the planet of expansion, it lies in airy and communicative Gemini. Generally, the sign of Gemini is interested and fascinated by understanding ideas and how different elements, functions, and are linked together in this world. With Jupiter in this sign, it pushes this quest for knowledge to a new level, because Jupiter is the guru. He's the guru of the devas, and he loves to teach. He loves to expand your knowledge. He loves to expand your baseline into the unknown. And these people are interested in anything and everything. For them, the world is endlessly fascinating. It is likely to show in their speech, in that they will communicate extensively with all around them in their quest for understanding and knowledge. Jupiter gives the person who is born in the Gemini part of Punarvasu, the gift of the gab, the gift of speech, because you have knowledge and wisdom there in Jupiter, and Mercury in Gemini gives you that intellect and that communication skills, so that you really have the gift of the gab if you fall into Punarvasu in the Gemini factor. With Jupiter in Cancer, however, the planet lies in the first of the water sign. Jupiter enlarges and emphasizes the sign it is found in. So Cancer is very much about our feeling and intuitive nature. Individuals with Jupiter in Cancer are therefore likely to have grand and expressive emotions. They always probably cry at the drop of a hat, but not that they're sad, they might be happy. So that this is, expressive. They may be prone to large mood swings. One minute you're talking to them and they're happy, and the next minute they just swing their head and move their way and you're looking at their back, Although since Jupiter is considered a positive planet, it is more likely to take the form of a benevolent and kindly nature. So that there is no hard feelings or mean feelings to what the person may do. It's just done because that's how they are. They don't mean anything by it. It's just that's their emotions and how they express themselves. For this reason, Jupiter is considered exalted or in favor in the sign of Cancer. Everything about their emotional nature will be larger than life. So understand when persons are born in either Gemini or Cancer in Punarvasu, they have Jupiter to deal with. And Jupiter saves the bhava that it aspects, because every graha has a seventh aspect, but Jupiter has an additional special aspect of the fifth and ninth from itself. So if Jupiter is posited in Aries, the fifth house from Aries is Leo, and the ninth house from Aries is uh, Sagittarius. So that whatever bhava that is for you, it is going to save that bhava for you. So that if you have malefics, Jupiter may throw his benefic energies beyond it or behind it, and you will be saved in whatever aspect that is. Jupiter's function is to lift us out of the realm of desire and stimulate growth and learning. Just what Zedam Astrology is trying to do for you here in terms of bringing you growth and learning and giving you an understanding of what Vedic astrology is all about and how we can grow with it, how we can learn with it, and what the graha's significations and meanings are all about. So this is Jupiter characteristics in Gemini and Cancer. And this is the Punarvasu signature card for the Star of Renewal that I use in Zedam Astrology to analyze your Kundali. This is just the Punarvasu star itself, the nakshatra itself. And it brings together the Vedic astrology, the tarot reading, the crystals, the chakras, and it tells us the amount of characteristics or traits and significations that we look at when we do your birth chart. So Vedic astrology is there to assist you. It's there to cradle you, and I hope that you understand and request your birth chart or the specific charts that are given in Vedic astrology from zedamastrology.com and in my blogs. The story of Lord Vamana and King Bali is one that is well known in Hinduism and in the mythological world of the Vedic astrology. And it's all about you not judging what you see in front of you. You not taking face value of what is in front of you. You need to delve deep, you need to do your research, you need to come back before you make a decision, or you need to take the advice of the elders in the community and the society. And this is what, the mistake that King Bali made when he did not heed the advice of the priest who had advised them not to take or give to the dwarf the wish that he wanted, where he wanted to cover the land in 3 steps, because the dwarf was Lord Vamana in disguise. And when Bali granted him the request, because he was noble, he made a promise and he stuck to his word. And then when the dwarf took the first and second steps and crossed the world, he had nowhere else to put his third step. So he put his step on King Bali, and King Bali did not make a fuss, because that was, he made a promise and he kept to his promise. And even though Lord Vishnu pushed him down into the netherworlds to read and rule the netherworlds, as it were, he did not kill him. He gave him immortality and allowed him to come up to earth once a year to visit, and that's the Oman festival that they have in India. So that, at the end of the day, learn the lessons from these stories or these associations with the avatars and the grahas, because it can guide you. Jupiter is all knowing. He's the guru of the devas, as we say. But at the end of the day, you also have to use what God has given you. He has given you eyes, ears, a brain. Use them. Don't listen to gossip. Don't spread gossip. Don't listen to what people say about others. If you don't know that person, then you don't know what the, limitations or expansion of that story is. You don't know. So don't judge people. Don't judge things. Take your time and understand what you know, what you have seen, and what you have heard, not what is being told to you. So that look, research, and understand that there is learning, continuous learning throughout your life, and we should all learn from King Bali and his nobility. Bhagwan's blessing has brought me to the end of this presentation and this video, and again he has allowed me the resources and time and technology to reach out to you and to offer to help you and guide you in this lifetime. I thank you for joining me. I thank you for sticking with me to the end. And I hope that all is well with you and continues to be well with you until I see you next time. Bye.